Today, we're going to take a little walk in the woods. All right, so I'm going to hike to a couple locations. I'm pretty sure I know where I want to put my camp tonight. So I'm going to hike to my camp location and go ahead and set up camp and lighten my bag a little bit. And then I want to do some major hiking around the property. I have a few ideas in mind for how I want to do a trail. It would also be a shortcut to the spot where I'm planning to camp tonight, which I have big plans for. Maybe. Around with that thing, but so far I absolutely hate it. There's no way I'm going to be able to sleep out here tonight. This might just be a walk and talk and cook and go home kind of thing. It's hot as hell anyway. I freaking hate summertime. Hate this thing. I hate this thing. There's no sit. Let me sit. Okay, so the people on my people commented on my Memorial Day video that they really enjoyed the hammock struggles. I really thought I had it figured it out. I didn't. I'm going to try to make the best of this. This hammock's got me all flustered, so it's time for a step 2. Ooh, that is delicious. Oh man, I needed that. Alright, I gotta figure this thing out. Like, it's really making me mad. I'm gonna do some cleaning up around the campsite here, and then I'm gonna throw my backpack on and we're gonna go on a hike. See, this sucks. I don't like the fact that it tacos up so bad. And no matter how sideways you get in it, it still tacos up. Like this, I don't like this right here. It blocks the wind. You can't see anything that's coming. Like, it's absolutely horrible. Like, who the hell would want to camp? Who would want to sleep like this? And I'm not a back sleeper. I don't sleep on my back. So how the heck am I going to sleep in this thing? Oh, I'm so aggravated. It's not comfortable to sit in. It's hard to get out of. I'm not liking this hammock. Since the rain chances are low, I'm going to run a simple ridge line, but I'm just going to leave the tarp off. If I do stay the night and it starts raining, I can simply throw the tarp over it and just drape the tarp over it, and I'd probably be fine. So this way I can have a view of the stars tonight. Did a basic bow line on that end. This end, I'm just going to do a taut line hitch. That cedar smells really good. Okay, folks. So one thing. I'm not hurting the tree by cutting these dead lower branches. There's no leaves on them. They're doing no good for the tree. And they're just in our way as we try to walk around the campsite. So by clearing these, the tree can now focus its energy up on the canopy above where it gets the sunlight. And now we have plenty of firewood. Something to note about cedar is it's bug resistant. The bugs don't like it, and that's why a lot of people make like cedar chests and stuff for their family heirlooms and stuff like that. So this is eastern red cedar. Another great thing about the eastern red cedar is here in this cedar canopy, the oils from the cedar and the lack of sun prevents a lot of vegetation from growing. So you get a nice, almost carpeted floor. And it's great for bushcrafting. Okay, so the campsite that we're camping in tonight, I named Cedar Point. This will be my first time camping there. There is a trail to it, and I want to clear it out because I have special plans for it. We'll talk about that tonight. Coming up on the back side of the old house, and we turn right to go to the Windy Cedars. And here we are at the Windy Cedars, the Double Trapper's Cabin. This place is so cool. I plan on spending a lot of time here. I gotta catch my breath. Whew. This has been a pretty good hike, and I need it, let me tell you. We're just going through here. We're about to pop out at Coyote Hill. You can obviously see how growed up it is. Oh my gosh, all the four rows. Let's go around this way. It's going to be fun figuring out which way to go with the trail, but it'll be much easier when everything's dead. So, we are now at Coyote Hill. You can actually see the fire pit where Riley and I made our fire. It's all growed up, haven't used it yet this summer. Look at all this mowing. Well, I'm just going to celebrate being back at camp with a step 2. Yes, and I'm going to get a fire going, but I'm going to put it fairly far away, probably 15 feet or so away from me, simply because it's so hot. It's still pretty warm. I've sweated my shirt out. I just went for a very long hike. I hiked around the whole entire property almost, and I did find a good trail that I'm going to blaze this fall. Okay, well, everything must be wet from the humidity, and I'm just going to wear out my ferro rod. So this shows how much I still suck at this. So the problem I'm running into is all I can find is flash tinder. Flash tinder is stuff that'll light, but it just goes and it's done. We're literally in the middle of a drought, in the middle of a cedar forest with dead crap everywhere, and I can't start a fire. A lot of it is probably related to the humidity in the air. It is absolutely miserable. Just nothing but flash tinder is all I got. So when all you got is flash tinder, you just need a lot of it. There's nothing else around. See, like that started to go. There's flame. it trickles up and disappears. This is just stupid. If I put a bic to this, it would surely go, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, see, that just flamed up, and then just as quick as it flames up, it dies out. Never give up. Oh, I so badly wanted to. My favorite thing about summertime is the sounds of nature. The cicadas. Just all the bug sounds. They're definitely the coolest, the best during the summer. But sadly, when you hear that sound, you know it's hot. So I went and got the chair from the next campsite over so I'd have a place to sit other than the hammock. And I'm sitting here, I'm getting ready to cook up some grub because I'm getting pretty hungry. But I wanted to have a quick talk with y'all. I'm going through one of the biggest changes in my life right now. I'm on a spiritual journey, trying to figure out what it is that I believe. I'm trying to find the truth, you know. I'm not only on a spiritual journey, but I'm also on a journey of self-sufficiency. And this journey started at the very beginning of the In the Bush series. I used to try to change people's opinions as far as politics and as far as how things are going in the world, but I decided that in January of 2021, after certain events took place, I decided that I would turn inward and focus on bettering myself. And that's exactly what I did. Not only bettering myself, but bettering the situation for my family, close friends, close relatives, that kind of thing. And I decided that I needed to learn self-sufficiency on every level. Who knows what the future brings? If you ask me, it's pretty gloom and doom, so I won't go there. But I will say this. I'm trying to do everything I can to prepare myself to thrive. Not just survive, but thrive. Something caught me off guard the other day. I watch a lot of different people on the YouTubes of the world, Rumble and YouTube and all these different platforms. And I was watching a guy named Bjorn Andreas Bull Hansen. He's from Norway. He's Norwegian. He's got great videos about what's going on in the world and things. Anyhow, he had a video and it was like the top 10 things you can do now to prepare for the things that are coming up in the future. And so I clicked on this video and I'm watching it, and it's going on about like all the things I'm doing. I'm learning all these survival skills. I'm learning how to become self-sufficient. I'm growing a garden. You know, I built a cabin. Like I'm doing all the things. I'm learning how to homestead. I'm learning how to be sufficient. But there was one thing, and it was really important on his list. And it was get your physical health in shape. I'm fat and I'm disgusting looking. I mean, I got man boobs and a big, huge gut around my waist. And I get pretty depressed about that because when I was younger, I was really skinny. And it was almost like it happened overnight. I didn't change my diet. I didn't change anything. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, you turned 21 and you started drinking. No, it was more like when I was 27 or 28. I'm not going to do a pity party here, and I'm not going to, oh, poor me, my metabolism changed, now I'm fat, and feel sorry for me because there's nothing I can do about it. That's not true. There are things that I can do. If I just dive into something head first, I'm likely to quit. But if I do a little bit at a time, then I'm more likely to succeed. And so this encompasses a lot of things that I'm doing here. I'm growing a garden. I'm learning how to forage wild edibles. I'm learning survival skills. I'm doing all this camping. I'm building cabins. Like, I'm prepping to some degree. And that's what this whole thing is about. This whole in the bush thing. You're not just watching me out camping. You're watching how somebody can transform their life slowly for the better over time. And I realized that I would like to be more self-sufficient. I would like to supply 80%, 70 to 80% of everything that I need in life. I would like to be able to procure that myself rather than depend on a grocery store, a pharmacy, you know, different thing like that. So I'm making little changes. The way I'm doing it is when I wake up in the morning, what's the first thing I do? Take a drink of water. Where am I getting my water? Is it local, or is it being piped in full of chlorine, fluoride, you know, different things like that? So I'm thinking about how my day goes and the different things that I'm putting into my body and the different things that I need to survive. And one by one, I'm ticking them off the list. And I can't just do this overnight. If I did it overnight, it would be overwhelming, it would cost a fortune, and I would just stop. But one thing at a time. I'm slowly going to improve my life. I'm going to improve my well-being, my health, and everything. So tonight, we're going to do some stir fry in the wok. And I got some peppers from the garden. We're going to dice these up with some onions. And I'm going to saute them until they're like perfectly caramelized. Then we got some pork and some noodles. And an easy way, if you need a cutting board and you're in the bush, is to cut a slice out of a tree. And we have a cutting board. It's about time to eat. I never said I was going on a diet, a calorie restrictive diet. I'm just going to start eating more local, more fresh ingredients. And I'm going to slowly incorporate that over time. And today, part of the reason for the hike was I simply need to slowly incorporate just a little exercise into my daily routine. I'm an active person. I go from sun up to sundown if I sleep well and feel good. But that's not enough. I need some rigorous exercise. I'm sure a lot of you watch this video and you think, look at that fatty, you know. Shoot, I get it all the time, believe me. I people come up to me, well, you let yourself go. Well, I really didn't let myself go. I didn't change anything. But unfortunately, my metabolism did change. And I do like to eat. And so I have to counteract that. But it's one thing at a time. It's one step at a time, because if I do too much, I'll get discouraged. And then I'll just quit. You know, it's just like trying to start a fire earlier. If I were to go out with a ferro rod the first time, I would have got discouraged. But I've worked my way up to it. And that's why here soon, I still need to work on my fire starting skills. Basically my ability to gather tinder. But here soon, we're going to do a bow drill fire. So I got a lot of good things coming on In the Bush here. So I hope you stick around and enjoy the episodes. But for now, we're going to get this stir fry started because my fat butt is hungry. Hey, I'd like to give a big shout out to my drummer in my band Big Guitars, which is my new music project that I spoke of in past videos. Kim Wynn. Doing some Asian cuisine tonight. I made my own chopsticks here. Attempting to use chopsticks. Let's see how this is. Oh. Oh man, that doesn't suck. That is so good. So we've got, so I started off with some onions, green peppers from the garden. Sauteed that down, basically caramelized it down in some olive oil. And then I added some pork, just some little some little pieces of pork, and sauteed them. And then I added some sauce. It was a teriyaki style, basically sauce. And then I added some like lo mein style noodles and a little bit of water just to cook the noodles good and everything. So easy, so good. There's just a little bit of heat from that pepper I put in there. That was an amazing meal. I'm just gonna sit here and relax. Got a pretty good fire going. Quite a bit of brush to burn. I'll just sit here and relax by the firelight, listen to a podcast, and then I'll be turning in for the night. What an amazing meal. That was my first stir-fry Oriental style dish in the woods. Well, I just don't think hammock camping is for me. Don't get me wrong, it's very comfortable, but you just can't, there's only one position you can really lay in, and that's on your back. You can try to roll over, but it doesn't like it. It wants you back on your back. You win some, you lose some. It's mainly lose in the bush. Definitely. Somebody asked me the other day how I slept when I'm in the bush. I said terrible. And that's true. I have good nights, but most of the time I sleep like crap in the bush. I'm just not into this hammock thing. You know what? My thoughts are, great fixture to have around camp for just hanging out in. Like if you have some people hanging out, having a bonfire, doing that kind of stuff, then I think it's great. But as far as, like, it's comfortable. Like I said, it's comfortable for just like, if you wanted to take an afternoon nap in the camp, you could easily do it in a hammock. But to sleep all night and get a good quality sleep, no. Been a while since I had cowboy coffee. I've been using the French press on most summertime campouts. You know, I find that the cowboy coffee works better. That method works better in the wintertime because the water that you sprinkle on top is ice cold, so it sinks those grains down easier. Anyhow, this is the reason behind this camp out. The main reason behind this camp out at this campsite is I'm scouting out areas where I would like to build an actual log cabin. I want to do a button pass style log cabin. Button pass means that there's no notches in the corners. Instead, the logs overlap each other like this, but there's absolutely no notches. So one log butts up to the other one, and then the next one goes over top of that seam. And you drive big spikes, like big nails, down through it to hold it in place. It's the easiest method to build a log cabin. I want to build it out of cedar. They grow straight and tall, and there's lots of them in this ridge. Now, I don't want to go just cutting down a bunch of cedar trees. This is my dad's place. I'm not going to do that to him. I only want to build the walls like a knee wall, just like I did in my regular cabin. I just want to go maybe 4 foot high at the most with the walls. We're camping here because we're checking out this cedar ridge. It has tons of cedars and it has this nice open spot. So I'm just out here early. It's July now. It's the end of July, but I'm out here scoping things out. And because this fall, I got a lot of plans. Anyway, I'm going to get this camp packed up and throw my jeans back on and get the heck out of here. As always, we'll see you next time in the bush.